welcome. And as you could hear, Anna will speak, and I don't know much about the speech. Maybe you have heard it already last week or in your previous meeting, but I know the topic of Anna, and that's a really interesting one. It's metamorphosis, which is a change of the form or nature of a person into a completely different one. That's what Anna sent me. And I think we all want to change in a way throughout our lives, and that's a recurring topic to everyone. So it must be very relevant to each of us. And I'm looking forward to the speech, so please welcome Anna on stage.
Muchas gracias, Krista. I just learned that he speaks Spanish. So, 5 years ago, my life took a 180-degree turn. My dad passed unexpectedly. One day I was on the phone with him, joking, having a laugh, and then next thing I knew, I got a call from my family saying that he was very sick in hospital, and so I had to rush home. I got on a plane hoping that I would get there to see him, but instead I landed at his funeral. I got home at 7 in the morning, and I had 1 hour to digest and to change into the one single black dress that I had packed. And by 8 in the morning, I was already at the funeral home, surrounded by family and friends. I remember standing in front of the coffin in misbelief that he was gone, when someone from the back approached me and said, "Just talk to him, he will listen." To what I thought, no he won't, and he will never reply neither. Those pending conversations that I had with him would not happen. The gifts that I thought that I can buy on that special date, he will not receive. The hugs that I saved for later because I was too busy to get somewhere else will not be given. That's it, it's gone. The chances are gone. And I guess it was when my metamorphosis started, you know? And some people like to call it middle life crisis, but I very much disagree with that term because I don't think it's a crisis. I think it's a wake-up call. There's a quote that I really, really like, and it says, "A man should never fear death. A man should fear never beginning to live." Deep, huh? It took me a few months to realize that it was that October 2017, 17th of October, when I touched rock bottom. And I guess it happens different for everyone, right? So it can be the loss of a beloved one, it can be the loss of a friendship, of a long-term relationship, it can be the change of a job, it can be that you go through a difficult sickness, it can be many things really. But when it happens, we all have the chance to press the reset button and start again. So I guess my question to you guys is, are you alive or are you living? Because it's different, right? So is your life passing you by like a routine, or are you really there, like living it to the fullest? What is the thing that you do to fill up your bucket every day? What is the thing that sets your soul on fire, and do you do enough of it? 4 years ago, I changed my lifestyle. I went from doing absolutely nothing to what our previous speaker just said. I now work out 4 or 5 times a week, and I cannot tell you enough about how much that has changed me for the good, here and here. I went from somewhat neutral thinking or neutral thinker to a positive thinker. If you know me, you have heard me saying many times, it's all about mindset. I work really hard on being a great daughter, a cool sister, a fun partner to be with, a good role model for my kids because I want them to be strong and independent, but I also want them to be loving and vulnerable. I practice gratefulness. It's the little things, you know, like driving with the windows down, having a hot bubble bath, the smell of fresh baked cookies, stepping on autumn crunchy leaves, that kind of thing. But you know what I have changed the most at? I now spend a great amount of time doing the things that I love. Because if I'm gone tomorrow, I want to make sure that I'm gone with a full heart. That special occasion is not Christmas or a birthday. If I see it, I buy it. If there is something I want to say, I don't wait for the right moment. I just say it. Pending conversations, fuck no. I just had one this week and it was liberating. Hugs and kisses, everyone gets one. I don't care about social distancing anymore. Sunrises and sunsets, I've seen them all. Morning coffees, I've tried them all. Dance floors, that's still work in progress. It's not enough of that just yet. And the next thing on my list is I want to learn skateboarding and surfing, because why not? And I get a lot the, oh my God, where do you get the energy from? How can you be a mother and a full-time employee and have social life and reply to all your text messages? How do you do it all? And I'm like, I don't do it all. And that's the easy part, you know? That you just have to prioritize your list. So instead of saying, I don't have time for X, Y, Z, then you can try saying, it is not my priority, and see how that feels. And I promise you, that's gonna change things for you. So for example, you can say, or instead of saying, I don't have time for exercising, because I used to say that a lot, then you can say, my mental and my physical well-being are not my priority. It hits different, doesn't it? Because that's the thing, that we make time and we put effort in the things that are important to us. And I always say, if there is a will, there is a way. Always. And I could spend here hours telling you about how much this metamorphosis has changed me, and how much I believe we all need at least one in our lives. But I have 7 minutes and the red card is coming, so I need to wrap up. Maybe your wake-up call is here. Maybe it hasn't arrived just yet. But here's an idea. You don't have to wait for it. You can make a change today, even if it's a small one, you know? For example, you can reach out to that person that you've been thinking a lot nowadays. Don't let it be your ex. And don't blame me for it. It was the lady from Toastmasters that made me do it. It wasn't me. Or you can go home and hug your family or your parents if you still have them, just for a change. Or you can get a tattoo, or you can book that trip and go on your own if no one wants to go with you, you know? Because what I'm saying, guys, is we have only one life. Only one. And it sounds like a cliche, but it's really the truth. We have today, we have this minute, but the next one is not guaranteed. So don't waste it living it in an ordinary way. Because remember, the life is all about choices. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna. This is the second time I hear the speech and second time I cry. Great.